Hello. Oh, there we go. Now we have sound. I hope. I hope we have sound. It doesn't seem to be moving. Okay, there it goes. All right. We have sound. Somehow the mic button on my computer got, you know what? I didn't set up. I did not set up. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I had to wait until the kids came to get the car. Because yeah, we're still having car issues. Uh, so fun. Sorry, this is gonna take me a minute because I didn't do it earlier, and I usually am all set up. And I was doing so well this morning. I got up, I watched Sister Wives, took all my notes. Um, no, I already did that one. What else? I got stuff in the laundry that I should switch over. Shoot, that's what I forgot to do was switch over the laundry. Knew I was forgetting something. So anyway, the weekend was interesting. You know, nothing can be easy right now in my family because it's the worst year ever. The worst year ever. Um, one of my kids had a flood in his basement. Um, bright spot. We did get to go with the kids to see Santa. Um, my WB, the 4-year-old, kissed Mrs. Claus. He is just the sweetest little kid, I'm telling you. So sweet. Neither one of them wanted to come home with us because they hadn't seen their parents actually for at least 24 hours. Um, but it's a good thing they were not there because that's where the flood happened. So yeah, they had a flood um, in their basement. Their heating system got broked a little bit. So they spent the day doing that instead of what they were supposed to be doing. I'm just checking to make sure I got everything right. Which was better than last Wednesday when the little one didn't want to leave at all. Lost. Ooh, that's why I did that one. Okay. I had to move there twice. That's why. Okay, I think I'm ready. Happy brunch to you too, Lauren. Sorry I wasn't set up right. I'm still not done. Um, so I can go. So anyway, that was my interesting weekend. Nobody got sick, so that's good. I have a very long opening segment here because I watched 3 shows, so we're all caught up. Um, there we go. Okay. All righty. Now I'm ready. Sorry I'm late. I had to wait for a kid to pick up a car. You know how it is. Um, hopefully Tuesday. They said it's halfway done, so hopefully it'll get done soon. Um, trying to think. I thought there was something else, but I can't think of anything. So yeah, I can't think of anything else. Weird. Weird. Usually I can think of all kinds of stuff that happened, but my life is boring. My life is boring. That's why I'm doing this. So, reality roundup. Gonna be long. Warning you right now. It's gonna be long. So we have starting with seven little Johnstons from last week. So we open with Trent, Jonah, Alex, and Emma entering an Asian market store, like a grocery type store. Trent and a talking set head said they're really busy because they just finished celebrating Layton's birthday. They have their anniversary and Thanksgiving coming up, which makes no sense because their anniversary is in August. So why are they celebrating it in November? That's weird. Oh, I forgot to turn my light on too. See, I am not good today. I thought I was, but I am not. So they're doing an Asian Thanksgiving, and Emma says that they are making rice, noodle, fish and dumplings. She seems genuinely excited about it, which is cute. Um, and she did say noodle, one noodle, and Alex calls her out, and so does the producer on her one noodle, and she agrees it's just one noodle. They're only having one noodle. Nothing's bringing Emma down from this Thanksgiving high that she's on. What is on my shirt? I don't know. Oops, what's the shirt? I don't know. I think it's just there. I don't care. It's probably from the stupid laundry detergent. Okay, Jonah is stealthily obtaining a duck. He says Alex and Emma won't be on board, so he's sneaking it into the dinner. And then we reminisce about the past cultural meals they've had. And they also get a red snapper for Jonah to smoke. Liz tells Emma that they may have found a house to buy, so they're not going to build on the land. They show the house. It's okay. I'm not a fan of the white with black trim trend in the houses right now, anyway. And it's a house that's white with black trim. So boring. So boring. Um, it's just a personal preference to me. If you want a house with black trim, go for it. I won't say anything to you personally. I just don't like it. Uh, so the house has a shed for Bryce's taxidermy, which I didn't even know Bryce was into taxidermy. So that's interesting little tidbit. That could be good business for him, all things considered. But he is in heating and cooling too, so could have two businesses. And it's good to have hobbies. Liz doesn't seem to have any other than what Bryce's are, which is hunting and fishing and taxidermy, apparently. Emma asked Liz if Anna has said anything to her about Layton's birthday, and how would she? Liz has her blocked, so how would she say anything anyway? Mid-century houses, maybe, but the new ones are ick. Lauren says mid-century houses look cool with black trim. Maybe. I mean, I'd have to see it. I can't envision it. Thank you, iPad. This says that Anna screenshot a fake account and made fuss about how it said she was invited when she wasn't. Anna still says she's convinced it was Liz's real account. Liz claims not to have a TikTok. I find that hard to believe. Um, Anna is convinced that she does also. Liz called Anna completely pathetic, her words. And if she wanted to mend things, Anna had to come and see them in person. And why would she do that? First of all, it's not the first time Liz has lied about Anna being invited to functions. And again, putting any reconciliation on Anna and Anna only. And that's not fair to Anna. She's asked, she's apologized for everything she's done. She's taken accountability for everything she's done, and they still won't accept her. It's sad. Anna said that had she been invited to the party, she would have come. They put it on her, to, yeah, they put it on her just to show up uninvited. Like, oh, she didn't come because she wasn't invited. Well, she doesn't need an invitation. Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Um, I always invite my kids, even if they know what's going on. I invite them. It's very manipulative too. So, because Anna tried to set the record straight about her not being invited to Leighton's party, they have decided not to invite her to Asian Thanksgiving either. And Bitch says that Anna knows when things are happening. If she really wants to be a part, she can come be a part. Really, Amber? Like the tree thing where you bought everybody jackets except her? Who in their right mind shows up where they're not that they don't feel welcome to and are uninvited, especially when they just know what's going to cause unnecessary drama because it'll everybody will be acting dumb because that's what they do every time. Anna says to Liz, "Well, at least we have each other." So who does Anna have? Emma. Who does Anna have? That's not fair. Could have Anna too, you know. That's a possibility. Okay, I already said, why are they celebrating their anniversary in November when they got married August 2nd? Trent makes Amber pick a card as to what they're going to eat, and the choices are chicken and burgers for their wedding anniversary. Chicken or burgers. And they literally go through a drive-through to get burgers because she picked the burgers. He announces that it's his 20, I swear he said this 27th anniversary and that was supposed to be their 26th. Um, I wonder if it really was their 26th. Because there have been situations that I know people have been in where um, they claimed they were married a year before they were married because of a pregnancy. And it took them a long time to figure the kids a long time to figure out that, oh, that's when mom and dad got married because they lied to the kids the whole time. And that would not surprise me with these two because they lie like they breathe. So he announces that it's his wedding anniversary to whoever's on the other side of the drive-through. Um, and if someone said that to me when they were in a drive-through and I was running the drive-through, I would think, "What a loser." Like, go somewhere else. Go someone not much nicer than a burger place and drive through burgers. Uh, Liz and Bryce in a talking head said that Bryce would give her a choice of hunting or fishing. So then Trent has her pick a card and she chooses park and the other choice was river. So I guess they're gonna go to eat burgers in a park. So romantic. So romantic, Trent. Seriously. Emma's babysitting because Liz and Bryce are at work. Um, and Liz loves that Emma is a great aunt and Leighton loves her. Emma claims to miss babysitting with Anna. She claims that Anna has been saying things on social media about the kids. I've not heard what Anna said about the kids. Anna complains about her parents a lot, but not really about the kids. She knows that they're just following mommy and daddy because they have to. Emma claims they have not done anything to her, yeah, except for pick on her entire life. But yeah, nothing, Emma, nothing at all. And you can't even say what she has done. We know this from a previous episode. She also, yeah, okay. She expects Anna to come uninvited to talk about it. Um, I think Emma should go to Anna's house and talk about it if Emma wants to talk about it. Um, and it has been made very clear that Anna is not welcome in the house. So you have to go to her. She's the one on the outs. You have to go to the one on the outs. Um, And if Anna did show up there uninvited, she'd just get ganged up on, and that's not fair either, nor is it productive. Emma says Anna is making them look bad when they're not. Yeah, you are. Your actions speak volumes, Emma. Amber and Trent finished the most boring anniversary date ever. We're cutting to Alex and Emma making dumplings for Thanksgiving, for Asian Thanksgiving, which apparently wasn't even on Thanksgiving because they apparently went to um, Amber's family for that Thanksgiving and they didn't invite Anna to either one, which is really nice. The recipe for the dumplings actually looks pretty easy. It's just ginger, ground pork, and green onions. So Emma goes to put them in the fridge, and a duck is looking at her. So they called Jonah, who had salted the duck and left it in the fridge overnight. You want to salt it and leave it overnight so that the moisture comes out of the skin, and it makes for a crispier skin. In case you didn't know, Alex gave Emma the kudos for the dumplings because she folded them better, and I might try taking making those. They look super easy, not like bao balls who look super complicated but are super delicious if a Chinese person makes them for you. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. The guys go take an outing to play pool, and it's Alex's first time. And Bryce explains pool badly, trying to explain the rules, which I don't care about. Alex is horrible at pool. Anna says she's also bad at pool, but she's good at darts and beer pong. Good for you, Anna. Bryce cleans up at pool. He grew up with a pool table, so but he likes hanging out with the guys, so that's nice. And he can beat them at something. Actually, he beats them at most things, just on the virtue of his height. Trent asks when the guys are getting married, and they say eventually. And honestly, I think Alex is going to get married before Jonah. Poor Ashley. Poor Ashley. Waiting all this time. Then they show everybody getting ready for Asian Thanksgiving, and Ambitch says it's better if Anna wasn't there so everyone doesn't have to walk on eggshells. Funny, if you treat your daughter better, it probably wouldn't be a problem, you know. They show Anna having Thanksgiving at her house, having a pear salad, which, by the way, disgusting. It involves a pear, some lettuce with pears on top, and mayo and cheese on top of the pears. Oh, oh. She says it's the grossest concoction, but she likes it anyway. And I guess it's a Trent's mom used to make it, and he says he really likes it too. And it doesn't make sense that it should um go together, but apparently it does for Southerners. I should talk. Um, Emma insists that they use chopsticks instead of forks because it's Asian. Emma's really into this meal. I love it for her, honestly. Trent complains that the turkey has never stared at him, but the duck does, and the duck was present. Is what he says. Amber insists that everybody state what they're thankful for. Uh, Trent pulls a fork out for dinner. Everyone says, I'm thankful for the family and for Leighton and blah, 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 blah." This family's entire life is Leighton right now. It's kind of disturbing how much Leighton. Like, don't you have lives? Like, I love my grandkids, but I have other things going on too, you know? They're not my entire life. I wouldn't mind if they were, but they're not. And I don't think that's healthy for anyone either. Trent pulls out a fork for dinner, of course, because he's lazy. Leighton is not even at the dinner table, by the way. This is supposed to be a family event, and Leighton's not even at the table. No, they showed her on a monitor. She's in her room running around. She's a 1-year old in a room by herself running around. Not sleeping, running around the room. Like, what kind of sense does that make? She's a year old. A year. You don't stuff a year old child in a room by themselves. That's how accidents happen. Amber brings up the fact that Anna isn't there, stating it was her choice. How is it her choice when she's not invited? That's not a choice. She says the doors are always open, but they're not showing that they want her there. They don't invite her at all. And that was the end of that episode. And it made me mad. So Anna says the real story is that they did this for the show, of course. And then Amber and everybody went to Amber's family for actual Thanksgiving, which she was not invited to, but she had other places she could go. My guess is that she went to Aunt Heidi's, or she went to her BFF's. Whose name escapes me. I think it might be Ashley, but I'm not positive. Oh, okay, that's over. Uh, Now we have Balin out loud. And we open to the meeting with the coordinator, Shannon, who says they are not going to love her. She infers that the venue is too expensive, but they've already spent the money on it. They've already put the down payment on it, so that's a thing. They want shuttles from the accommodation to and from the venue, and I think that's actually smart if you're serving alcohol. She lists that they need photos, hair, makeup, food, and the officiant, and the wants are the alpacas and flowers, which were the most important things to them. Like, your most important things not be somebody else's most important things. Balin's not happy, and it shows. And then it cuts to parents' house, and everybody's playing pickleball in the driveway. And Balin pulls up. It costs Balin $150 to be driven the 2 hours between her house and her parents because she can't drive, which is sad. It's hard to be disabled. It's expensive to be disabled. Balin informs her mom that the planner might not be able to fit everything in her budget, and her mom says she dreams big and needs to figure it out. I'm glad they're not just throwing money at the wedding like a lot of parents would. They're talking about Sammy, who has apparently not had a doctor for her OCD and anxiety issues. Um, but she's getting back into therapy, which is good. It's going to be hard on both of them for Sammy to miss wedding dress shopping. So Julie pulls Alan aside and says, "Go get Sammy." Apparently, when she's accountable to someone else, it tamps down her anxiety and OCD, and she can travel easilier. I think I made up a new word. Julie is meeting someone that reached out to her online. Her name is Anita, and her daughter also has autism and way worse Tourette's than Balin does. So then we cut to the wedding dress shopping. That was kind of a nothing burger. They just sat there and chatted about the Tourette's and everything. Um, if you have a kid with Tourette's or autism, you might get more out of it than I did. Um, we have other issues other than Tourette's and although I might have autism, who knows? It's been suggested. It's been semi-tested even. So we go to Colin and Balin's house, and Colin is going to babysit while the women's go dress shopping. He wants kids. He seems to want kids real bad. Oh, this might help with that. Balin is hoping. Colin is amazed that you change a diaper with your bare hands and don't have to wear gloves. Like, dude, he may be worse than the germ fear than even Balin is. Um, of course, the baby starts crying right away. She's had no nap, and her mommy is leaving her. So good luck, Colin. Sammy shows up for the dress shopping, and I almost cried. I was so happy that she was there, that she made it there. So Ellen did go get her. It takes Balin 20 minutes to come out in the first dress. Like, what are they doing back there? And I'm not gonna lie, the first dress kind of boring. It has pockets, but it's really boring. It's plain, so plain. Balin likes it and says she feels like Rapunzel, but she agrees that it's too plain. It's not. It's not a Balin dress. It's not even a me dress. And trust me, I do plain. Um, So between fittings, they call Colin and wake up the baby. Poor Colin. He says she wouldn't eat. She even put food on the floor for her so she could come get it when she wanted it. Like, she pulls herself up. I saw her standing. So I think she pulls herself up and she can probably go to pull herself up on a table or something, Colin. You don't have to put it on the floor. I absolutely hate the second dress. It looks cheap. It almost looks like it's made out of muslin and it's all ruched and everything. It's oh, I hate it. I hate it so bad. It looks like it's trying to be like a Greek dress, and failing badly. Very, very badly. The third dress is totally Balin. It's sparkly and beautifully tasteful. It's gorgeous. I loved it on her. I wonder if she actually picks that one because then, well, I guess it probably already are they already married? I don't know. I haven't heard about them getting married, so I hope that that's not the one she actually picked because I would hate for Colin to see it before the wedding. Sammy indicates that she feels shame and embarrassment for her mental health issues, and that's so sad. Why can't we just be supportive of other people's problems and instead of shaming them and making them feel bad? It's horrible. Stop doing that, people. Balin comes up with a dildo tick, and Julia hates it. I would guess not. Lauren asked if they probably don't show the one she actually picked. I would guess I would not guess. I'm hoping that it's not, but if that's the one she picked, it's gorgeous and it fits her. Like fits her personality and fits her body and everything. But I hope that they wouldn't show the dress on TV before Colin saw it. Um okay, again, Balin has come up with a dildo tick and Julie cannot stand it. She says she's on the struggle bus with it. Uh Balin is hoping that the babysitting is birth control for Colin. He keeps saying he wants kids, but he doesn't want them now, which I get. Um, so then Balin and Colin are going to see Dr. Flaherty in Boston, which is one of her mental health doctors. Um, Colin's feeling good about going to the appointment with Balin because he feels like the torch is being passed to him, which is good. They're going to ask about the new pulse, which is a some kind of wrist device they might that might help with Tourette's. They're not it's still in it's not even available in the US, I'll put it that way. And Colin wants to ask if how Balin's meds will work during pregnancy, and then she's feeling pressured again by him about the kids. But I mean, that is important stuff to know before you do it, before you try to bake the baby. And that's where they're at. And I guess the next episode they're going to discuss the new pulse, which they will have to go to the UK for. So that sounds like a fun time. And then we're on to Sister Wives. We open with Mary and Amber at their single mingle thing. They get a questionnaire and are going to be matched with someone. Um, and I spelled questionnaire correctly the first time I typed it out. Yay me. Um, all the girls talk about flirting with Cody. And it's boring. Robin blames smartphones for how hard it is to date nowadays. That seems weird and extreme to me. Like, it is not smartphones' responsibility to find your dates unless you're on a dating app. I mean, I would think it would open up all kinds of possibilities. I know several people who have found mates on on social media sites or the dating apps, like more than two, maybe more than three. Not sure. There is a lack of men at this event, and I don't understand why. Um, where are all the men's? It's almost all women. Where are the guys? Guys, you complain about not being able to get a woman, but you don't show up to to all the things. Or you could meet a woman and you act weird online. Mary says she's being Oh, they don't see anyone they're interested in. Mary says she's being picky, and that's fine, but if you don't give someone a chance, you don't know whether they're right or not anyway. So you should at least they talk to no men. None. Didn't even talk to anyone. Like that's no way to act at a single mingle event. You're supposed to go talk to the guys. There were several guys there that weren't talking to anybody else. They could have and they just talked to each other the whole night. So that was a fail. Um, then we cut to North Carolina with Cody and Janelle. Cody is so freaking awkward. So they meet up in the diner or whatever they're having lunch at, and he asks Janelle if she's feeling healthy. Why are you asking it that way? So weird. Cody says you have to have an they're talking about the weather, and Cody says you have to have an icebreaker because you can't just jump into something as heavy as an apology. I mean, I think you could, be honest. It turns out that Mary only knew Cody for 6 months before they got married. 6 months. They didn't even know each other. Personally, I recommend at least knowing them for 5 years. And if you just met them, you need to date for 5 years before you get hitched. That gives you time to go through all the things. Stress, a death in the family, all kinds of other stuff. Don't get pregnant either. It's not good for a new relationship ever. She says the event doesn't feel like speed dating because it's not, Mary. It's not speed dating. It's a single mingle event. Um, so they did fill out that questionnaire, and there were no matches for either of them, and they're both okay with that because there wasn't anybody they were interested in anyway. Um, Mary says she's fine with it and is up for the adventure regardless of what happens. But she would like a boyfriend, I think. She's got that one Ron Ray guy that she's been hanging with a little bit, so or at least talking to. So maybe he'll turn out to be okay. He seemed all right. And his name's not David, so she'll be happy. Um, we go to Christine and David playing pickleball. Christine is not a sports ball player. Neither am I, girl. Neither am I. She accuses David of cheating because he's wearing sunglasses. And he asks how is being prepared for the elements cheating. He says it's not cheating, it's being prepared for battle. David's a trash talker and can angle the ball, so he wears her out and talks her till she's upset and she can't win. So she loses pickleball. Um, she says that Cody contacted her about the apology tour. Apparently, he hasn't contacted Mary yet. Must be saving her for last. She says she does not want to talk to Cody ever again. And I mean, who could blame her? David says people change. Has Cody ever changed for the better? It's always changed for the worse, but for the better. She says she wants to know the motive and wants to know why he wants to talk to her and all that. And I think Danelle can clue her in on that. They're still friends, so that's good. So then we go back to Cody and Janelle, and Cody apologizes for being so bitter and angry. Janelle says she no longer recognizes Cody, but she was more concerned about the family than her relationship with Cody. And she explains to him that the kids are siblings and they're getting along as siblings, all of them, except for it's kind of throwing it in his face since he has no relationship with the OG kids. Like we all have relationships and you do not, sir. I- Cody says his anger was a compliment and that it came from attachment. Maybe come up with some better compliments, Code. No, that might be a good idea. Come up with some better compliments than being angry at people. Cody says the meanest thing did was say that he didn't love Janelle and that it was a lie out of pain. So, yeah, once again, he finally admits to lying about it because everybody knew he was lying. Personally, I think it was unbelievably cruel. And she says she knew all along that he loved her at some point. But she thinks he's being really heavy and intense, and she's hoping he's not asking for a reconciliation. But can't fathom why he's on this apology tour. He wants to feel better about himself. That's it. He wants to feel better about himself. It's all about Cody all the time. Production asks Robin, what if one of the wives wanted to return to the family? And she doesn't have an answer for that. She literally blocks it out of her mind. She says it's too hopeful and she can't do it. And we all know that she doesn't want to share Cody. And she would probably have a fit about it if one of the girls actually wanted to come back. And that's why she doesn't want to think about it because she doesn't want the idea at all. And then we go to Parowan, where Mary says that she and Amber have something uncomfortable to talk to about Jen. And this is clickbait because it's not anything bad. Jen's husband has cancer, and it sounds like it's pretty bad. He's done radiation and multiple surgeries, and he's got to I probably do chemo right now. They're trying to save his leg. Cut it off, dude. That's what my aunt did, and it was fine. She's like, cut it out. She was 7 though. Um, so they decided to put on a fundraiser for them. Because Jen, like a lot of us, has trouble expecting help. And can I just rant a bit about the stupid American health system? Like, this should not even be necessary. If you're sick, you should be able to have health care, and it should not cost you out of pocket for it. We should pay for it through our taxes. It would be cheaper in the long run for all of us. And every country besides us in the Western world has better outcomes in health because they have a health system that works for everyone, that you can go to the doctor before you're on the deathbed. Can we do that, please? Thank you. Sorry. It makes me angry. It makes me angry. I've had hit through the nose for health care for insurance that covers everything and you don't even get a bill. And let me tell you, it is so nice. There's no stress at all other than the person being sick. It is so nice. No copays, no deductibles. You go to the emergency room, it costs us $30 to go to the aftercare, and that's only because they didn't have an appointment that day. And we had to be in that day because it turned out to be appendicitis. But at the $30, we got no bills. None. Barely heard from the insurance company. Everything was covered. He recovery was fine. No bills. And that's how it should be for everyone, and you shouldn't have to pay insurance for it. Everybody should pay in, and everybody will benefit from it. So, for their little fundraiser, they're going to do a bike ride around town. Sounds cute. And they're going to funnel people to Jen's shop to rent bikes. I hope they don't have a run on the shop. And they're also going to do a breakfast in front of Mary's B&B. Mary says Jen gives support all the time, and it's time for her to learn to accept support. That's very nice. I like that they're doing this for Jen. I like that Jen is a good person, and does things for others and doesn't really expect anything in return, which is how you should be with your friends and family. Okay, back to Cody and Janelle. Cody said that he did not protect Janelle at the beginning of their marriage, and he says that things he would have done differently if he'd known. And she says he didn't know, and it's okay, and that she and Mary are too different and would never be friends or get along or anything. He says that she deserved to feel safe, and he failed her. Jen says that she lost herself in the marriage and emotionally shut down in the early years. She says there'll always be a connection just based on the time they spent being married to each other. And then we go back to Christine and David. And Christine says she doesn't trust Cody. Fair. And is afraid he's just going to be mean like he has been for years. She's upset with just thinking about talking to him. She says her stomach's just in knots. David thinks she should meet Cody, and David says that in order for the kids to have a relationship with their dad, then Christine has to have a relationship with him, and that's fair also. And she says it sucks that he's right. So Christina says she's up for a peace talk, and she does want to have family stuff, so she has to do this. She wants the kids to all get together, and I think she's including Robin's kids in that. David is up for the family reunion stuff. He says his focus is on the kids. And he says, if you don't have a good relationship with your kids now, they won't be there down the road when you need them. And he's not wrong about that either. Christine just wants him to have a better relationship with the kids. And then we go back to Cody and Janelle, and Cody says she has the highest honor of being the first up for the apology tour because he feels safest with her. Well, maybe if he weren't so mean to the other two, she wasn't as mean as he was with Janelle. I think him and Janelle actually did have a good relationship. I think that she was very independent to begin with, and the other two were not, which is okay. I mean, different people have different personalities, and that's fine. Um, but I also think that Janelle and him had the best sex life, if you ask, just from things that they've said over the years. And I think that's why he liked her. Oh, so so she's eating up the praise of being the first one, which I think is ridiculous. Janelle, come on, what you doing? She's never gonna stop listening to his nonsense and believing it. It's so silly. And then Janelle takes the opportunity to bring up the possibility of getting Garrison a military headstone, and Cody agrees that he's going to help with that, so that's good. And that's all that there is, and that took almost 3/4 of an hour, but it took me 6 hours to do it. Just so you know, they're hour-long episodes, and it takes me like 2 hours to watch them. An hour and a half to 2 hours to watch them. Why? Because I have to write notes. My husband came in and said, "Can we watch something else?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Are you working?" I'm like, "Yes." He's semi-supportive. Okay, so Friday, the made me smile somehow got messed up. So we have this one to share. It says he said there's for 1 year. This is I think the before. Poor guy. That looks painful, actually. I feel bad for people with bad teeth. I've been blessed with good teeth. Oh, it looks so much better. Holy cow. What a difference teeth can make, you know? Isn't that amazing? Plus, he can probably eat better. Um, I know someone that just eats grilled cheese sandwiches and fries, pretty much soft foods like that, because his teeth are so messed up he can't eat anything else, and it's kind of sad. But they try to accommodate him as much as they can. It's in a group thing, so. All right. Next read is from Am I the Jerk? Entitled, oops, I gotta put my AITJ for telling my roommate's boyfriend he can't stay over anymore because he keeps borrowing my clothes. No, nobody should be borrowing your clothes without your express permission. My roommate's boyfriend, 23 male, practically lives at our apartment. I, 24 male, don't love it, but whatever. But recently I noticed clothes going missing, shirts, hoodies, and a jacket. I thought I misplaced them until I saw him wearing one of my hoodies in our kitchen. I said, "Hey, that's mine." He said, "Oh, I thought it was your roommate's. We share everything." I said, "Well, don't share my stuff." A week later, I found another sweater missing, and my roommate said he probably grabbed it by accident. I told her boyfriend needs to stop staying over because he's treating my closet like Goodwill. She called me dramatic and said they're just clothes. It doesn't matter. They're not your clothes. Unless you have express permission, they're not your clothes. I told her, cool, then he doesn't need to be here. And now she's saying I'm making the apartment uncomfortable. AITJ. No, he's literally going into a space he doesn't belong in and taking clothes. Like, leave other people's clothes alone. And I find it weird that he shares clothes with a girl. That's weird. Does she wear only boy clothes? I mean, it happens sometimes. So, Momo says he literally is going into your private space and taking your clothes. Call it what it is. He's a thief. He wouldn't be allowed back into the home. And Generic Kayak says, lock your room. Why does he need to lock his room? He lives there. It's his room. Nobody should be going in without permission. No, don't lock the room. Lock him out of the whole house. There's a lot of people agreeing to lock your room. Maggie Mischief says it's like he's not making your apartment uncomfortable by stealing your clothes. Once is an accident, twice is intentional. They're not just clothes, they're your property, and taking them without consent is theft and a level of entitlement and disrespect that's out of this world. If the girlfriend can't keep his sticky fingers to himself, he loses the privilege to visit your apartment. Yes, exactly. That's crazy. Why do people do that? I mean, I get if it's a sibling, because that's a sibling thing to do. Um, but if somebody has a problem with it, then you stop doing it, no matter who it was. And you don't do it in the first place unless it's somebody you know really, 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 really well, and you know they won't mind. Or you ask permission. And if the answer is no, then you accept that. Next, we have entitled people. Entitled, That's My Water Bottle. I'm not sure what happened really. It all went down in a matter of seconds. Leaving kids' volleyball game out the gym doors when it comes to my attention that the loud person making a scene is actually talking to me. She was simultaneously yelling at me and her kid, who was maybe 15 feet behind her. It was so chaotic. She kept asking me if my water bottle is mine and could she look at it. It's just like hers, I must have grabbed it. Then she repeats something similar to her kid, who looks just as confused as me, and I'm guessing a whole lot of embarrassed. The lady had stopped half the team and their parents about my damn water bottle. Many looking at me to respond about why I apparently took hers. But all I could say in the confusion, you mean the water bottle you're holding in your left hand? She had the exact one in her hand, as her kid was trying to point it out. Upon realizing her mistake, there was no apology and only exclaimed, "Oh, Jesus Christ," and turned around to walk back in. Now, I can see myself doing this, something like this. I would be like, "Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I am so sorry." That is the proper response. When you do something stupid and you accuse somebody of something, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I am an idiot." Clearly. Is there anything I can get you off the floor? Because I'm short. Beginning method is a top commenter and it says, long time ago I had a similar. Why don't you finish your sentences, girl? I was at some high school event with a package in hand. An older lady came demanding it was hers, tried to grab it from me. I was 13, shy and confused, but I knew it was mine. As she was pulling away, I tilted it up and there was my name. She dropped it and literally slunk away. 45 years later, it still sits in my brain. Why would an adult act like that? And E. Marvel says being old doesn't make you an adult. That is true. There are so many old child people. I mean, you can just look in the White House and find some. Our next read is for malicious compliance entitled Student Made Demands Regarding a Project and Found Out the Hard Way. One of the degree modules I teach involves students working on a group programming project. Nothing to elaborate, but the aim of the module is to develop skills they will need to go work in the IT field. After all, if you're doing a computer science degree, you must be thinking of going down that route. Correct. This one student is an absolute nightmare, absolute entitled nightmare. He uses Gen AI for a lot of his work, and it really does show. He was always pushed back on the writing remarks on his work, but every time I sat down and asked him to explain the code he produces, he struggles and often has no idea how the code he submitted works. In this project, he came up and told me he cannot work with others in the group and must work alone. Well, is that because you want taking over the group or because you're not doing enough? Because I can see that going either way. I explained that there are specific group activities and events I would be marking and that I needed to see his input within the group. There was no way I could excuse him from the group activities in the module. However, I could see he was not going to budge and therefore complied with his demand to work on the project alone. Should just failed him. These people need to be just failed, like that girl from Oklahoma University. She deserved to fail too. If you haven't heard about that, you should look it up. All the students in my class had been assigned to their groups, and I did check in with all of them on a weekly basis. This one guy was steadfastly refusing to work with the rest of his group, and as I had complied with his request, he was working on his own project alone. In my interim feedback at the end of each stage, I repeated that he really should work with the group, or he risked a failing mark for the module. I made sure his feedback was sent to him, both hard copy and also via email, read receipts, which I kept. Cue to the end of the module and the submission for marking. Sure enough, one student submitted a project based on just his own work and had not engaged with the group as he was asked to work with. There were several issues with this project. First and most important, he didn't meet the brief. The code simply didn't do what we asked for. He lost marks for that aspect of the project. As he had also not worked with others in the group, he was not awarded for any of the group marks allocated for their work. Because his code was so far away from the specification, I called him in for a viva voce to explain the code, and he demonstrated a complete lack of understanding of the code he submitted. More marks drop. His eventual mark for this was a hard fail. He must now reset the entire module. There's of course a real downside that affects me. I got him in my group again for the rest of the module, for the reset of the module. Well, maybe he's learned his lesson, and maybe he will do what you tell him to do now. Just like the chick with didn't follow the rubric, got a failing grade, and now says it's all about Christian persecution. And I forgot her name because I don't want to keep that in my head because she deserved what she got, and her professor did not. Vervine says this is a guy that should fail. He doesn't understand the material at all. Yeah, he doesn't. And the Ultimus Prime says Illuminatus Prime says he obviously doesn't want to understand the material either. Yeah, he's not even trying. Um, you always have those idiots in the groups. One kind of idiot just likes to take over and do the whole thing himself. And what are you supposed to do with that? And the other um, does, and then you can get the group that where one or more people do absolutely nothing that they were supposed to do. And it really sucks because it does affect your grade if they don't do it and you don't take it over. And it stinks, and that's why nobody likes working in groups. I have worked in some really good groups. Um, so there's that too. If you get lucky and get a really good group, um, it can work out really well. Lauren says that being in a group with the type 1 idiot is annoying. It is so annoying. I was in a class where I was not in that person's group, but I knew that person very well, and I knew what was happening in that group. And my group was just over there working away. We had really good rapport with each other. We got an A. They did not. He was mad that he didn't get an A. He didn't deserve an A. He was being a jerk. I thought that was funny. That's after we broke up, so. All right. Our next read is AITAH, entitled AITAH for ditching my friend at airport for doing a stupid prank. Probably not, because if they're being stupid, you do not want to be involved in that, especially at an airport. I went overseas with 3 friends. We live in the US. One of them was having her partner picking her up when we got back home. I was the ride home for the other friend. We're about an hour away from the airport. Same bestie. We had the bright idea to joke. He had the bright idea to joke when going through immigration that when the officer asked where we were coming from, he thought he'd be real funny and tell him North Korea. We went to Seoul, South Korea. So we get pulled back into secondary questioning because of this dumbass. They let me and my other friend out when we showed our passports, itinerary, credit card activity showing we had been in Seoul for the entire time, and they let us go. They kept the moron back for 2 to 3 hours before letting him go. I just went straight home and refused to wait for him. It was late, so he had to get a hotel by the airport and then rent a car to get back home. He said I should have waited for him, and I said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You're lucky you didn't go to prison or have your passport revoked. AITA. No, no, don't mess around. Like I said, especially in an airport, don't mess around because you'll get yourself in a situation that you cannot get yourself out of very easily. Stop spinning like that said, for me, the top 2 situations for not ever pulling a prank would be at the airport when being held at gunpoint in that order. You are NTA. Sting Random said one cross out the airport and put any border crossing or immigration check. Fixed it for you. Boarding and immigration people do not F around in any country. For sure. Pokinono says It's not like there aren't multiple TV shows or a number of countries featuring what happens when you lie or omit information at border crossings, quarantine checks when going through customs. Yeah, you can get your stuff taken away. He's lucky they let him out. He's very lucky that they didn't press charges or something for simply being dumb. Why are people so dumb? I don't understand it. Like, use your sensibilities, people. Our next read is from Neighbors from Hell, and it's entitled My Neighbor's Dogs Are Making My Life Miserable, and I Finally Snapped. This is an update. So let's go and see if we can find the original. Oh, there's a lot. Holy cow. Oh no, that's all from the update. What is all this? Oh, there we go. Okay. Nope. Says it's an update, but not really. Okay. Maybe it's. Oh, okay. Never mind. The update is at the beginning. I hate it when they do that. Your update's at the end of the post. Okay. I, 42 female, live next door to a 26-year-old couple, newly married, new parents, renting the property. I own mine. For the last few months they lived here, they were pleasant enough, polite hellos, casual chats, no drama. They have two high energy dogs that are completely unsocialized. They spend all day either locked up inside or dumped on the backyard, barking at every sound or movement. When the baby was born, somehow it got worse. The dogs are outside for hours, barking nonstop, sometimes for 2 hours straight. That sounds horrible to me. Absolutely horrible. At first, I thought it was just the baby adjustment phase. 4 months later, it is clearly their new normal. We're on a panhandle setup with 5 properties, so everyone's backyards are connected, meaning everyone hears it. I decided to talk to her. Big mistake. She immediately blamed other neighbors, said I was being unreasonable, and acted like I was suggesting animal cruelty for expecting dogs to be managed. I have a high energy, reactive dog myself. He's walked daily, stimulated, and spends most of his time outside without causing chaos, so that logic didn't fly. We ended the talk agreeing that try to manage it and I'd be patient. This last week has been the worst ever. The barking starts around 6 a.m. and goes throughout the day. I would be angry. We had dogs. Thankfully, they've moved. Um, our backyard, our front yard is like somebody else's backyard, basically. And we're on a hill, so we can see right through their 6 foot fence or right over it. Every time you walk out the door, the dogs are barking at you. Like, leave me alone. I'm in my own property. You know, hate it. It sounds horrible. This I can't garden, relax, or even play with my own dog without being met with 15 to 20 minutes of nonstop aggressive barking. Out of sheer frustration one morning, I told the dogs to move away from the fence. Not my best move, but I was at my limit. Later that day, I went shopping and left my 22-year-old son at home. He was sitting in the backyard when the dogs started up again, only this time he overheard the neighbor telling her dogs it was okay because I wasn't home. The barking continued for another hour. That was my breaking point. I called her landlord and reported everything, the constant barking, the home business she's running, and the bylaw violations. I told them they've got a week before I take it up with law enforcement. I know it was a bit nuclear move, but after months of sleep deprivation, disturbed peace, and a complete lack of responsibility on their part, I honestly didn't feel bad. And then the update. Hands down, the quietest day in our neighborhood in months. They've locked themselves in their house all day, so the message has obviously been received. I can even hear a rooster crowing in the distance. Imagine appreciating the sound of a rooster. I'll update if anything changes, hoping for consistent consideration and a better situation for these poor dogs. Yeah, they wouldn't be getting away with that here because it's too dang cold. It was 9 degrees this morning. Sorry, my slipper slipped. My slipper slipped off my foot. Um, it was 9 degrees this morning when I got up. At like, granted, it was 6 o'clock, but still, it was 9 degrees. It was 58 degrees in my bedroom, and I have the vents open. Or do I? Maybe I don't. Maybe I have something on one vent. I shouldn't have that. 58 degrees in my bedroom. It was cold, people. Majestic Abroad says, "Good for you. Those dogs are being neglected." Yeah, and the OP says that's exactly how I view it. The dogs aren't the problem. The owners clearly are. Impressive N says, "I wish I had a landlord to escalate to. Unfortunately, my neighbors own their house and not much I can do other than spray their dogs with watering hose." Somebody said that they are going to try a bark deterrent, and somebody follows up with, "How's it going?" Like 2 weeks later, no answer. You can escalate it to law enforcement. It's what you can escalate it to. All right. Next, we have Benign Existence, entitled Forced into an Adorable Break at Work. I work in merchandising, mainly in Walmart stores. Been there, done that. I have done a spot under one of the merchandise tables on the floor to stash my coat and bag while I'm working. There is a speaker directly above the table, so the music is a bit loud sometimes. This afternoon, I was putting my water bottle away. This little girl toddled around the corner of the table and spotted me. She came over and stopped about a foot away from me, and then just then a new song came on the radio. She started bobbing along to the musical, staring at me, and when that didn't work, she tugged my sleeve. I obviously started bobbing along with her. Here's Dad peeked around the corner and caught us mid dance party in the middle of a walnut aisle. It was probably less than a minute, but it was definitely the best minute of my workday. Oh, that's so nice. That's very nice. I like that. Plod through Hyde Flailing says, "I bet she's going to look for the dance lady next time she goes to Walmart." And the OP says, "I will absolutely dance with her again." That's so nice. I love it. I love it. That's so cool. And now we have Just No Mill. Mother-in-law Mother-in-law wants to come to the delivery room to keep us calm. Yeah, somehow I don't think that's how that works. I don't think that's how that works at all. I don't think I would keep my daughter-in-law calm in the delivery room, nor would I try because I'm not an idiot, or at least not that much of an idiot. For context, I'm very pregnant. My mom is flying in for the birth, but also is not invited to the delivery room. My husband calls his mom yesterday and she's very excited. If anyone has read my past post, she tends to desperately want to help, but it comes from such an egocentric place that it's almost never helpful. She also tends to think that she is owed something for what she does for you, which is a game my husband and I don't play. Don't get me started on that. Transactional family relationships are not cool. She was described to me as an anxious person when I first met her, and that has not changed at all. I find her deeply selfish and exhausting on my best days. Back to the story. With birth on the horizon, she has now started to get a little desperate with the role she's been assigned in her birth plan, which was none you get to see 2 weeks after the birth. She also lives a 4-hour drive away, and they stay with us when they visit, so there's no such thing as a quick drop in. Well, there could be. She could not stay with you. She could get a hotel room if she really wanted to see the baby and do a quick drop in. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, you can drive 8 hours in a day. I have done it. It is doable. It's not pleasant, but it's doable. He starts in on dear husband about, "Don't worry, I'll drop anything and come and there and just say the word. And you're going to want someone there to support you and keep you two calm," which is the right idea, but the wrong person. Why, if my mother is there, she thinks she could do a better job, I don't know. But also, truly, this lady stresses my husband out and I out more than anyone I've ever met. When my mom met her, she said, "She makes me feel like my insides are vibrating." Same, mom, same. There's a reason my husband is has spent years in therapy trying to get a handle on his disassociation and it's incredibly or entirely his incredibly anxious, overbearing parents. So husband says, "No, thank you. We don't need you in the delivery room. We'll see you 2 weeks after the birth when we are settled." We laughed and we laughed at the idea she would never ever be able to give us emotional support. Oh yeah, so that's fun. Top comment is Rusty Clamps, and it says, "I'm so glad you and your husband are on the same page." Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they're on the same page too, because it could be a nightmare if hubby was a little mommy's boy. Oh, so that's fun. This is from Server Life and it's entitled How Veterans Day Had Us. And there is a picture. It says the computers went down on one of the busiest shifts of the year. Handwritten tickets, no credit cards, people without cash forced to wait for the internet to come back on, crying, triple sat every 40 minutes, no time to chill. The veterans are very nice, though some of the nicest and most understanding guests we've seen. Happy Veterans Day to us. They just look sad. Poor things. I can understand the sentiment, to be fair. That sounds like a sucky day at work. Why didn't they just close? I don't know why, when the internets are down, managers just don't close. Like, just close. People don't carry cash like they used to. Just close. Someone, first comment is, I know a Chili's when I see one. Lyric says, as someone who has never worked in a restaurant, what made you realize it was a Chili's? Just curious because this looks like any photo of the back of the restaurant. And someone else, illustrious divide, answered, not the original. The staff have their head in their hands, screaming and crying mainly. Oh, the original uh, commenter said the silverware, mainly the drink station and the silverware holders, also the same one we use here. And Wanted Fun says the floors, the brooms, the silverware. Anyone who's worked in a Chili's recognizes that instantly. And the Chili's shirts. Oh, that's funny. So apparently, you can tell back of house by little certain things. And now we're on to petty revenge. It's entitled Nephew Got a Pretty Awesome Setup Because of His Mom's Boyfriend. I posted this at the pro revenge community, but was told it belonged here again. I'm only active in like two communities, so knowing what false where confuses me sometimes. Haha. Are you old? Because that sounds like something us oldies have. This happened a week ago, but my nephew is still losing his mind over it and told me I should post it here for everyone to enjoy as well. So here we go. I should preface by saying I only see my nephew every couple of months due to him being at his dad's or me not able to come up when on his mom has him. I, 33 male, went to visit my sister, 38 female, and nephew, 13 male, for 2 weeks. Okay, a 33-year-old should not be getting confused about Reddit. Just saying. My nephew and I are really big gamers, though we are into different games. He loves playing Fortnite with me, while I enjoy playing uh, things like OU2, Warframe, etc. We were playing Fortnite, and he was laughing hysterically because I can't build quickly at all. I just can't do it no matter how much he tries to help me and teach me. Uncle, hit this button and then that one and then that one over, then that over and over to build a ramp. My sister's boyfriend, 39 male, been together like a year, comes in and not yells, but raises his voice about my nephew using his controller. Mind you, that's normally okay, but randomly is not okay. That's not cool. If he's allowed to use it, he's allowed to use it, not randomly taken away from him. Snatches the controller from him, and the game pretty much ends because we can't play together. Here's the thing about me, I'm not a petty person, but the look on my nephew's eyes hit me hard. I'm not a physical altercation person, but one that will use my resources to get even. I tell my sister I'm taking the nephew for an hour to go out. We go to GameStop and I buy two controllers and then head back. We start playing and boyfriend throws another fit, and I just show him the receipt and tell him they're my controllers, not his. The man-child boyfriend then says, well, it's his PS4. We leave again to go to GameStop. I buy him a new PS4. We head back, set it up, and start playing. Man-child once again has a fit. Receipt shown, and he says, well, it's his TV and games. I'm annoyed beyond belief because at this point, it's not that serious. I don't want to spend this kind of money, but it's my only nephew, and this man is being childish over this. I pull my sister aside and tell her that nephew and I will be gone early tomorrow for half the day. She says that's fine, as I knew she would. Next morning, we go to GameStop. I get him a ton of games. I say a ton, but it was like 10 games. That's kind of a ton of games when 'cause games can be expensive. Two extra controllers, a VR thing for it, and then got him a 42-inch TV from Walmart and a TV stand. I get it all back to my sister's house and set it up in the den. Boyfriend arrives later in the day and starts crap, but my lovely sister points out that I bought it all, and she pays the internet, so he can't say anything about it anymore. Y'all, this man spent 4 hours, 4 hours, sitting in the corner of the living room fuming, like full on scout for 4 hours. I was loving it since I could see him from where I was sitting. Nephew was oblivious. Sister had to keep hiding her smirk. He was mad as hell that his girlfriend's brother spent all his money just to be able to game with his nephew. My sister just saw it as he was being childish and I was making sure my nephew and I could enjoy something we liked together. We spent all day playing Fortnite and having an awesome time. I've never felt so petty, but for F's sake, it felt so good. I really hope this guy doesn't mess this up for them. I really hope this guy does not mess this up for them, nephew. No, still can't build to save my life. Yes, my sister can build better than I can, and also, yes, she did game with us while he fumed. She told me if I ever have kids that she will buy mine and the latest and greatest game system when it's time. We also plan to try and play together every other night now, since my nephew has no one to tell him he can't use his PlayStation or his controllers or his TV. Questions. I was asked in the other community. My sister normally has a boyfriend like this for 1 to 2 years and finds another. It's complicated. It's one of those things I can't fix him, lost puppy syndrome. I can't, I didn't plan to go as far as I did with what bought, so that's why I didn't get a PS5 in the beginning. And everything was pre owned from GameStop, and the TV was a TLC, so only $160. A lot of the accessories were me feeding off my nephew's excitement at the store. I can understand that. And you didn't get him the latest and greatest thing. He got him a PS4, used. Nothing wrong with that. It's not like he spoiled him. Although, in that case, kid deserved to be spoiled. Update. I linked this post to her because a few of you said to show her what was being said. She was pissed I would put her business out like that, but I told her no one knows who she is unless she comments or lets people know she's anonymous. She did call me early this morning, breaking down crying, saying y'all were the a-holes for the words you say, but in a good way. She's realizing the men she chooses are nothing but abusive tools. Therapy starts in 3 weeks and boyfriend's being broken up with today. Yay! She apologized to me, but I told her to apologize to her son, and she will be. I know Reddit is known for being troll and effery centered, but y'all did it. You got her to understand that she is causing her own problems and is going to work for the better. Thank you. From a little brother who loves his big sister and has tried for years to get her to understand. Thank you. From an uncle who wants the best for his nephew. Thank you. Also, my nephew's dad is going to help her find a good man who will love and care for them both when the time comes. That's nice. Sounds like everybody loves this kid. Everybody gets along, except for the boyfriends, who are jerks. Girls, pick better. Once you pick better, everybody gets better because they'll start to improve themselves. All right, it is time for expectation versus reality. So this is what they asked for. Get Star Wars on. Dun, 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 dun. And I assume this is what they got. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my goodness. Opie, I'm so sorry. Oh, who would ever? I hope this was somebody at home. Really, really hope this is somebody at home. Asked for a 3D Darth Vader cake from a well-known bakery in town, and this is what I got. Needless to say, they are no longer in business. Yeah, I would hope not. Somebody, the first comment is Dorf Vader. Small little aside. I actually know somebody whose last name is Vader, and all he wears is Star Wars t-shirts because that's all he has because everybody buys them for him, poor guy. I told him he should name it I think his name was Jeff. I'm terrible with names. I want to say it was Jeff. I told him he should change his name to Darth, and I just called him Mr. Vader the whole time. All right, it's that time again. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually around noon Eastern. I was a little late today. And I will not be here on Friday because once again, that's the day I get my car this week. So I'm going to try and go Christmas shopping again. It was a bit of a failure last time. I did get some things done, but I started out the morning with a headache. The headache got worse. So I gave up about 1 o'clock, came home, took an ibuprofen, um, sat down. The headache got worse after that. So it was a good thing I stopped when I did. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to today's current live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. The email address is also in the description below for your convenience. Also, tell your friends, tell your family members, tell your enemies. Maybe your enemies will learn something, like how to be a nicer person. Probably not, but maybe they'll enjoy it anyway, and you'll get a little karma points. All right. You know what? I'm gonna take a quick break and I'm gonna go grab my drink because my throat is dry and I forgot to bring it in because I'm an idiot. Just not that big of an idiot. All right, I'll be right back. All right, that wasn't too bad, was it? All right. I have Zillow gone wild. That's always wild. It is entitled A Wallpaper Fever Dream in Upstate New York. Um, see how many we have here. Okay, there's 52 photos. Um, what's the caption? There is a half bath slash water closet that is like stepping into Willy Wonka's dripping boat tunnel. Okay. And here we go. 52 pictures, guys. Fast. That's cute. I like that color, actually. I like the green. I'm not sure about the peach, but I do like the green. I'm probably because this is like my I like it's similar to my color, my house color. Oh my. Now, why would they put this picture up? It's not even in focus we need it to be. It's focusing on the door and it should be focusing in the room. I'm confused. I'm so confused. Oh, that is bright. I could not, and the carpet does not match the drapes. Doesn't match the wallpaper for sure. Oh, that is awful. Awful. The whole color scheme is awful. I hate it. Oh my gosh. Stop showing it to me. I don't like it. It's making me uncomfortable. Why we got 1950s diners chairs over here? That's weird. And what is this a waiting room? Who's gonna use those? I'm so confused. Please stop showing me this room. They have to have a space heater. That's not a good sign. Oh, look at all this. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. Is this a different room than the first one? That's slightly better, but still way too much. I do like the floor. I like the floor. Floor's nice. Floor's really nice. Not necessary. I don't really like this, although we've done it ourselves. Because I can after a while, your fireplace bricks just get so bad that you have to do something. Although they could have repainted it because that's messed up. Like if you're gonna sell a house, at least repaint the fireplace that's showing the soot and everything. And it's soot, not suit. Just saying. Oh, it's a very narrow room, looks like. Oh my goodness, what the heck? And it's coming off of that room, that pink room. Like, why? Like, why? If you have a little tiny room like this off of another room, at least make them blend. They should be cohesive and not in your face like, ah! I guess it matches this room a little bit. Oh, I don't like it at all. Make it stop. Please make it stop. I don't like this blue. This blue would be a good accent color, but this is not accenty. And like paint, people, paint. Look at that corner. Paint, please. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is the kitchen. Guys, don't use red in a kitchen. It actually makes your meat look bad. Just saying. These are the things you pick up when you take an interior decorating course in college. This is a little better. I can handle it. It's a kitchen. I like the wainscoting because I always like that. The floor, they messed up. That's probably nice flooring under that paint. But this would have to be all ripped out and redone. That stove looked like it came with the house. The sink looks like, have they not upgraded anything in this house? That's wild. I would not know. No, thank you. That is a nice mixer, though, from what I understand. And here we have more of the green, flowery, ugly, nasty color. They must really like that green because they use it everywhere. Two gold, two gold accents, people, not the whole wall. Come on. One wall with this, maybe? But they got the whole room and the whole thing. Oh, a nice, look at that. That's a nice room. I mean, mine's mismatchy too, but I would make this match a little better. I swear they have not bought new furniture in eons. That's better. Although I don't like this, but washer and dryers upgraded. Finally, something upgraded. Um, that's a very tiny water closet, but like, I can't say anything about really tiny laundry room. I mean, because I have my laundry room is so small I cannot put a front loading washer in it. Will not fit, and it stinketh. I hate it. I wanted one, but I guess I won't be getting that. I wanted it because my arms are short and I have a hard time reaching everything in the laundry basket in the laundry tub. So there were reasons I wanted a front loading washer, but I'm not going to get one. And we have the hallway with the ugly green flower wallpaper. And we have the gold room. This should be in with the other gold room. With all the gold. They like their gold and they like their green. That carpet is hideous. Wait, is that a different room? They have this carpet in two different rooms, guys. Because that is a different room. Bingo queen. Oh, this looks like more like a shed, to be honest. Is this an old garage? The floor looks nice, so probably not. I don't know what this is. There's a sewing machine. There's sewing stuff in it. Maybe this is a hobby room. It's very blue. And then we have the ubiquitous pink. bathroom. I'm surprised the pictures aren't pink, to be honest. These have probably been upgraded from the pink that was originally in there. That looks uncomfortable. What's going on here? Why are they taking pictures of unfinished stuff? I don't get it. I guess people looking at the house will be warned. And this is not something I would take a picture of. This is junk. It's a porch. It's junk. We have an unfinished Michigan basement. We call these Michigan basements in Michigan. The walls are your hint. It needs some work, to be honest. It needs a lot of work, actually. Well, it's got a nice little outbuilding. That's nice. It's a very thin lot, but it's long. I like the gingerbread. The outbuilding needs a lot of work. They're gonna need a lot of work. It's a weird lot for sure. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, a little floor plan. Like how it's just says room. It's just room. I'm betting that this laundry, this used to be a bedroom, and this used to be a bedroom because these old houses do not have hallways like newer homes do. They go from one room to the other. That's how my old house was from where I grew up. My friend up the street had the same kind of house. Her brother had to go through her room to get to his room, which I don't know why they didn't put her at the end. She was older and probably should have been in that room. And there was a playroom in front of that, and a base, and there were two bedrooms downstairs too in that house. We just had two bedrooms upstairs, and one of those was a playroom, one was my bedroom, and then we had two, one bedroom downstairs and a walk-in closet, which was turned into a bedroom. And then my parents slept in the what would have been the living room was their bedroom. So yeah. Oh, we have another room in the ground floor. Living room and family room. It's a strange little house, that's for sure. And way too much wallpaper. Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine. I've had to take wallpaper down before, and it is not a fun time. It takes forever, forever to take wallpaper down. Although it's easier now because they have better tools than they did back in the 90s. All right, and then we have Traumatize Them Back. Entitled, My Mother would shame me for having stomach aches until I shat myself in public. And it's flared traumatized. That is sad. I kept getting comments on my stories of people thinking I'm a bot. I verified with mods that I'm a real person and I am. Y'all need to chill, always onto the trauma. Anyways, onto the trauma. I pooped in one of the dioramas in a affiliate store. My entire life, my digestive issues were because you just don't drink enough water or you're dramatic in acting, and then it would be covered in sweat, guts knotted up, and dizzy from the agony. I was later diagnosed with IBS-M. I know what the IBS is. I don't know what the M is. I'm assuming that's some kind of designation. Usually is. So as a kid full of shame, I tried to keep my pain hidden. Messing your pants as a kid was peak humiliation. Yes, I think even as adults, it's peak humiliation. And in my day, we got spankings. Oh, that's so sad. We were walking around looking at dishwashers and clothes dryers. The signature warehouse smell made me nauseous. The bubble gut started. I had the tinges and sweats before we even left the house, but I was too young to be ask to be left home alone. I, even as a kid, gave myself the silent pep talk, All people do with tummy tantrums. Not here. Why now? I'm okay. This doesn't hurt. I'm okay. I won't poop myself. Just hold on for a few more minutes. I won't poop myself. But we all know that's a lie, and I was totally going to poop myself if I didn't act fast. Why didn't you ask for a bathroom, OP? Because I was a literal child and was tired of being a burden for taking so long to finish a constant, nonstop pooping marathon where my butt was an open portal to fiery hell every time we went somewhere. My mother and sister would act so aggressive and aggravated because I would sit in a stall, my insides feeling like they would turn themselves inside out, and I had to listen to put downs be humiliated by how it smelled, and just made me feel like I was such a problem because I had a medical condition that my mother never took me to get checked out. Yeah, if my kid was spending that much time in her bathroom, I think I would probably at least mention it to the doctor. Um, and by the way, your insides can't fall out. So don't like push too hard because that can literally happen. Anyway, my sister and I decided to play in some dioramas until suddenly it became diarrhea. To hide my bubble guts of doom, I suggested with playing hide and seek with my older sister and ran as far from everyone as I could. I crawled into a cabinet and promptly took a massive fiery liquid squirt underneath the sink cabinet. It was so forceful I became increasingly anxious it would pool around me. I used my Tuesday underpants to wipe myself and then ran out, leaving my sin to be discovered by someone else. The smell was wretched, but luckily it did not follow me. I made my way through the maze of furniture, a young couple looking at a wooden kitchen set. Images flashed before my eyes of them walking a little further and discovering my poo poo masterpiece. Suddenly I became afraid and they would call the police and arrest me. No, I don't know why I thought of that, but my kid brain told me it was a certain to happen. Well, that's how kid brains work. People didn't poop in public, so that means it has to be illegal. I was about to cry from fear, so I hid behind a long row of clothes dryers, pretending to have been hiding in the same spot the entire time, far away from the crap closet. Soon my mom came and stole my scold my sister and I for playing in the appliances. When we got home, mother noticed I wasn't wearing underpants again, and it was an ongoing battle where my ma just thought that I didn't wear them, and in reality, I was regularly crapping in places and leaving them there. I did wear them, I whined between tears. My mother continued on her string of complaining and dismissive words. I had to tell her. I pooped myself at ABC Warehouse, I mumbled. My mother stopped. When? When we were playing hide and seek. My mom's face dropped. You could almost see the dots connecting behind her eyes. My tummy hurts all the time, and you yell at me when I need to go to the bathroom, I blurted out. So I had to poop and left my underpants there. The horror, the disgusted, the unbridled fear in my mother's expression both terrified me and somehow relieved as I was being heard that I had a problem. It took me crapping in a closet cabinet for it to be taken seriously. Sometime later, my mom took me to the pediatrician. I was not, in fact, able to control it. I was given a white pill I had to take once a day, and while it helped, I still struggled with IBSM as an adult. Luckily, I was never arrested for pooping there. What happened to my poop cabinet remains a mystery. Probably somebody had to clean that crap up. But it's your mom's fault. It's your mother's fault for not taking you to the bathroom and for not realizing that you had an actual problem before then. That's crazy. Siren of the Seas, your storytelling is hilarious, but my heart aches for you as a child who had to endure that. Right. Century of Eggs and Rice answered, right. I was giggling and feeling terrible about it because of this poor abused little child, seeing no other option. They've got that childhood abuse ability to make their pain funny, and despite having the same, I still felt awful laughing. But man, someone got a real shock when they opened that cabinet, for sure. OP says, "No, please laugh. I have poop revenge, and my mother is likely mortified to this day because she has so many failures as a parent. She should be mortified. She should be." All right. Next, we have Traumatize Them Back, entitled My Mother Would Shame Me for Having Stomach Aches. Oh, that was the same one. Never mind. Okay, it's our confession. One of my friends is sleeping with his sister. Ooh, and I know about it. Oh. So I met this friend, let's call him Mark. He and I were in the military together and we became close friends. I knew Mark has issues as self esteem and inner demons. We found common ground together as I had my own demons. One day I met him in a seaside park in a place he often frequented in the middle of the night. Yeah, that sounds weird, I know. This was his area that he could channel his inner raw thought, emotions, and decide to tell me the guilt he was carrying. When he was 16, he was often bullied and had absolutely no friends. Poor guy. During this time, unbeknownst to everyone around him, he was struggling with his sexual orientation. In his terms, he was confused. Coming from an Asian family in a region where homosexuality isn't viewed well, I know it will be rough. He decided to take a leap of faith and confide in his sister. He told her his worries and ended with it. He requested her to kiss him to find out whether he's straight or gay. Okay, that's just weird. That's not how you find that out, dude. He told her his worries were and ended with it. His sister, call her Lydia, was flabbergasted at first, refused initially, but later decided to accept it. No, get a friend. Get a friend to do this. According to him, they kissed and more stuff happened and eventually led to him sleeping with her. Upon doing it, he felt guilty to his family and the sin he'd done. He asked for advice, and in all honesty, I wished I had answered differently, but in my view, this threw me off hard, and I replied to him, Bro, that's really effed up, but you should try and find somewhere in your heart to forgive yourself and be happy. He didn't reply then, and soon after we ended our time in the military. He and I would go for drinks off and on the next year or so. One day, he seemed in a generally better mood than I'd ever seen him in his entire life. He told me he's fallen in love with Lydia, his older sister, and before I could reply, he told me that I advised him to let go of that guilt and try and be happy. So this is honestly absolutely mental. Instead of being in absolute disgust and shock, I wanted to find a way what changed his relationship. So according to him, after he and his sister did the deed, his sister blackmailed him that if he doesn't do what she wants, what she says, she will tell the family that he forced himself on her. So he complied and ended up being her own personal sex toy. That is terrible. I hope this isn't real. I sincerely hope this is not real. Somewhere in this, I assumed he developed some sort of Stockholm syndrome and genuinely fell in love with his sister. And now, you know, after he got a lot of very explicit details that he's done with her, along with showing me graphic images of them getting it on. Ew, no. OP, you're a good writer, but please tell me this ain't real. I blinked out and blamed myself that if I did not tell them those words, maybe, just maybe, he would not go down this seriously effed up path. Occasionally, I still talk to him, but to be honest, if I felt I could get away from him, maybe I don't have to hear any more cursed crap. I've met Lydia in person, and she seemed nice to me, but based on what Mark has told me, Lydia has been very abusive at past relationships, often resulting with bruises on her face, which made me think that she wanted control in a relationship, and so her brother was the subject. Honestly, after all these years of keeping this secret, it really effed with me. Edit. I know some of you guys would think this is some sort of sexual fantasy on a piece of fiction, as much as I wish it was some sick fantasy. I mean, stuff like this does happen occasionally, I'm sure. Humans are weird. Humans are weird and we do weird stuff. I understand the reasoning behind this because it's not normal to sleep with your sibling. It's absolutely abnormal. I question myself a lot and why I had to be the one to hear this. Well, some of you mentioned there was nothing I could have done to prevent this. That's true. I feel I bear some sort of blame. I don't think so. And honestly, the reason I did this on confessions is simply by letting this out. I can let go of this baggage to clarify things. Um, this family don't have siblings, so I know it ruined quite a few people's wet dreams. However, based on what I know of their family, like many traditional Asians, they're very strict and have a very suffocating atmosphere. Lydia wasn't around a lot. She would try to get away from the house as much as possible, and Mark did not see her a lot. That is weird and disgusting, and we are not going to think about that anymore. Okay, here is interesting AF, and it says the odds are lower than winning the lottery. Um, I don't know. Oops, not what I meant to do. I meant to just share it. All right, here we go. Let's see what it is. Here we go. Uh-oh. What was that? If you know what kind of animal that was. Please let me know because that's wild. Yeah, we get back. Oh, there it is. Way down there. Mm, okay. No name is the top commenter says, "Bro, I'm shocked. Bro, I'm as shocked as you are." Oh, boy, it has. It's not good. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I wouldn't. I don't think I'd want to come up on that in the wild. Maybe something smaller and cuter. It was cute. Don't get me wrong, but smaller and cuter would be okay. Next, we have "Am I the A-hole?" entitled AITA for refusing to financially support my parents and explaining why when my brother asked. I, 38 female, have been living in a different state from my family for over 10 years. I supported myself the entire time and have rarely asked for help. I didn't grow up with my parents. My grandmother supported and raised me, and I've never had a close relationship with them. I wonder what the story behind that was. Last year, I went on vacation with my siblings. During the trip, I found out that my youngest brother, 29 male, who makes the most money out of all of them, has been paying the mortgage and most of my parents' living expenses. He asked me why I haven't wasn't helping financially because she doesn't need to, and neither do you, actually. Your parents aren't. I mean, she's 38. Her parents aren't old enough, most likely, to truly need financial help. Since he asked directly, I answered honestly. I told him that our parents didn't support me growing up, and that I still remember when my grandmother asked me to write them a letter requesting financial support for my education. My mom wrote back to my grandmother saying she should teach me to not ask for them for money because what my dad earned was just enough for them and my three siblings. My grandmother let me read that letter, which I don't think my mom knows. I told my brother that I contributed financially when we immigrated and that I paid rent when I lived with them for 2 years. I also used whatever money I earned to help support my grandmother, who actually raised me until she passed away. After I moved to a different state, I've been completely on my own with zero financial help because of that history. I didn't feel responsible for supporting our parents now. You shouldn't be responsible for financially supporting your parents anyway. They are responsible for you, not the other way around. Apparently, my brother told my mom. She confronted me via text and accused me of being disrespectful as a child. Why do I get the feeling that these people are Asian? I explained my side and the experiences that shaped my feelings. She mentioned times she believes I was disrespectful, including verbal and physical conflicts. I explained these incidents didn't happen in isolation and were often triggered by her actions, such as trying to persuade my grandmother to send me somewhere to dance for money or deliberately ruining my school uniform by putting soy sauce on it. See, I told you. Wow. I told her she had not treated me like a mother should when I was growing up. The conversation did not go well, and afterward, my mom stopped talking to me. Eventually, the rest of my family did too. That's really sad, OP. Now I'm basically no contact with all of them. I feel like I told the truth and set a reasonable boundary, but somehow I'm the one who ended up alone. AITA for refusing to help financially and explaining my reasons when asked. Info 1. Just to clarify, my siblings paying most of my parents' mortgage wasn't exactly a hardship. The cost is split between three ways between two brothers and one sister, and they all still live in my parents' home. Okay, so they're just paying rent. They're just paying rent. I never lived here, and I don't even have a room in that house, so I'm being asked to contribute to a household I was never a part of. Their mortgage is under $2,000, which is cheaper than what most people pay for rent right now. My siblings divide that amount based on income. My brother pays the most, and the other two split the rest. They also split utilities and groceries. What are the parents paying? My parents also receive fixed income from Social Security, which they use to travel back and forth between two countries. They are not struggling. They simply want to keep their lifestyle without adjusting their spending. Figures. I'm married. We don't have kids yet. My husband and I set up our finances so either one of us could cover all household expenses alone if necessary. Very smart. Very good idea. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. Stuff can creep up on you. Before you know it, you could be in your 20s and not be able to work ever again. Car accident, diseases, cancer, all kinds of stuff. That's intentional, or if for if I get pregnant, I'll be able to stop working for a while without financial issues. My parents and siblings see that stability it, and assume it means I have extra money to give them, basically because my husband could support me. Realistically, they could sell their house and make a significant amount of money, which would easily support retirement back home in my home country. My siblings are in their late 20s and early 30s, so they are fully capable of moving out, renting their own space, and building their own independent lives if they want to. That's not what they're choosing to do. Living together is simply cheaper for everyone involved and it benefits all of them. And that's okay, I guess. That's their choice. Yep, it sure is. But it doesn't mean I'm required to subsidize it. So, no, I don't think I'm the a hole in this situation, which is why it's confusing to be treated like I am. Two, soy sauce is the most accessible thing for her to use because it was one of our main seasonings at home. When I was a teenager, school meant everything to me. It was my escape and the only path I saw toward a better future. Damaging my uniform wasn't random. It was the easiest and most effective way for her to hurt me. It was a big deal too because I only had one uniform, which means I hand wash it as soon as I get home and let it air dry overnight and wake up in the morning to iron it. I basically had to hand wash it and dry it using an iron just to make it to school that day. I think of it like someone deliberately pouring red wine on a wedding dress. It's meant to destroy the one thing that matters to you most. Three, yes, during that time, going abroad to dance was often used as a cover to lure girls into trafficking. It is presented as legitimate work, but it may end up exploited once they get there. I hope that clarifies it. No, I knew what that meant. I knew exactly what that meant. That's horrible. That's horrible. Selling your kid into sex slavery. What are you thinking? Jacob Hart is the top comment, and it says, Your mother went no contact with you. Appreciate the peace and quiet, and not the NTA. Yeah, they're not parents. They're egg and sperm donors. Okay, this is a real short one from Overheard, entitled Two Older Ladies Sitting Side by Side on the Subway. Lady one, your scarf is gorgeous. Lady two, without missing a beat. Well, your face is gorgeous. Lady one gasped dramatically. Don't you dare out compliment me. Lady two, too late. And they both giggled like teenagers. Oh, I love that. That's so wholesome. That's awesome. Uh, somebody I can't pronounce said, it's a top commenter. Joke's on them. With casual banter like that, they're both gorgeous. Yes, they are. And Drunk Cupid says, no, you're gorgeous. And then we got just gorgeous. Absolutely everybody's gorgeous. And all my biddies are gorgeous. Okay. This is from True Off My Chest, and it's entitled A Girl I Talked Off the Ledge 12 Years Ago Just Got Married. Well, that's encouraging. Content warning, suicide, and self harm. When I was a teenager, my senior year in high school, I was really going through my emo phase, as some do, and had joined a bunch of pop punk fan pages on Facebook. I was 16, 17 at the time. But I made some really awesome friends in some of those communities, some of whom I still talk to today. Can relate. I have people I have known only online for like over 25 years now. Never met them in person, but we still talk. We still catch up once in a while. One of the girls in the chats I talked to was much younger. I don't remember how old, but she was below the age of 15. She was telling me and one of her friends that her desperation was winning, her depression, I'm sorry. She was telling me that and one of her best friends that her depression was winning and that she was planning on jumping off a bridge that day and was saying her goodbyes. Now, I don't really know anything tangible to this girl. I'm significantly older on the internet who doesn't live anywhere near close by to stop her. So while our friend is freaking out, I swallowed my discomfort and started reaching out to everyone on her page listed as family. Oh, that's smart. Everyone, eventually someone who I believe was her aunt responded, and I told her everything, providing screenshots of her messages. The aunt reached out to her parents and then radio silence, which is not surprising. Her aunt told me that she thanks me for getting her help, but she lost her privileges to the internet and I'm not allowed to contact her from there on out. I was devastated, hoping that she didn't hate me for going that far to help her. I just spent years wishing her the best in the back of my mind. This makes no sense. No sense. The internet saved her life. The internet saved her life and you took that away? And you took away the person that noticed it and tried to help? That doesn't make sense. Why are we doing things like this? About 5 years ago, we reconnected. She's a college graduate, is a psychologist now because all the psychologists have problems. We talked for a bit and shared bullet point life experiences, but otherwise haven't spoken much since then. Well, today a collage of pictures came across my dashboard. She just got married. I'm honestly so proud of her, overcoming her demons and finding happiness in a world that less of both fighting for our lives against demons at such young ages. I hope she continues living her best life. Good on you, OP. Good on you. You're a good person. I have a phone call. Hello? I don't remember anything in Fenton. Huh. Right. I mean, I asked for a call back and they never call me back. No, it always goes to voicemail. Um, don't we have a physical copy? Oh, I don't have a car. Hmm. Yeah, right. I don't ever remember getting that. To be honest, I don't remember getting one in a PDF ever. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I don't have any. The only thing I have is when last time I. Okay, well, I'm on live right now, so I. Sorry about that. We have a tax issue. We have to get a new tax accountant because ours goes sus. Just not cool. Not cool at all. No coolio. All right. Well, I guess we got that interrupted. Our next read is from Entitled Parents. Entitled, My Mother in Law Almost Broke Our Marriage After Staying with Us in My Postpartum Period. Truly entitled behavior. This sounds like a nightmare already. Me and my husband had a disagreement about who should stay with us after the birth of our baby, whether it's his mom or my mom or both. The presence of a grandmother was mainly needed to help childcare and new mom care. My mother-in-law has a habit of finding flaws in everything everyone does and is always a victim in every situation. She was always brooding about how life has been unfair to her, as she had a strict mother-in-law and her own daughter, my husband's elder sister, has a terrible marriage, and how her mother-in-law is an evil witch and makes my sister-in-law slog. The only thing running in my Mill's mind is bitterness towards anyone who seems to have a speck of happiness in their marital life. She disses women who have undergone C-section surgery as they chose the easy way out. If you've ever had a C-section, you know that ain't true. She calls the women of today's generation, weak and selfish, as they are not undergoing the pains of labor. Oh my gosh. No, they're going under the worst pain of having to heal for weeks afterwards. Yada yada. Many other things that make your blood boil. Anyway, grandchild, and that he is her only son, and that she will feel alienated if we don't call her. So let her feel alienated. I think she wanted to be here only to assert her importance and preach about how a great mother she has been, because she feels irrelevant in her children's lives. Cut to the birth of my daughter. My mom and Mill were both at our house. I needed my mom because I was not comfortable with anyone else except my own mother about how my body looked. I mean, understandable, but nobody actually cares how your body looks when you're pregnant. Just saying. Baby could not latch. We got whichever pump everyone was around was using. I got a pre-loved Spectra, and my mother-in-law once happened to see how it pumped milk. She laughed in my face and called me a cow. That's nice. She had never seen a pump before. How? But I don't think that's the right thing to say to a woman who is grieving the loss of her figure and missing her old self so much. I hadn't slept for 10 days properly. Well, that's normal, honey. I'm sorry. I was emotional, sleep deprived, and feeling depressed about my state, and just generally pissed off from her rant about how difficult her daughter's postpartum had been. I thought this was her first grandchild. Okay, now we're not being consistent. Now I think it's made up. I swear to God, something in me just died. I developed so much bitterness for my husband for exposing me to this emotional turmoil for no good, all to keep his mom happy. Mine kept replaying the scenarios in which my husband prioritized his sister and his mom in my most vulnerable time. He chose to give more value to his mother, who was nothing but a pain to me. I broke down in front of my husband after this cow comment. My husband was furious with his mom. About time. He did not comfort her in front of me, but he was unhappy and expressed this to his mom. The baby won't latch. I was overproducing milk, and I had no other option but to pump. I hated holding the milk bottles and the wires and the noise of that pump. It was something so animal like, that pumping experience, and someone seeing me pump like that made me feel terrible. I conveyed this to my husband, and he emphasized with me. My mother in law also found it funny that the baby's latch can hurt my nipples. There could be reasons for that. And you need to consult with someone. If this is happening to you, um, check the baby's mouth. There's a thing right up here that's like really far in mine. I barely have one. It's a frenulum, but it can come down to like my daughter's is like down here. And also the tongue, they can be tongue tied. My niece was tongue tied. Um and they can clip the thing holding your tongue to basically to your mouth, and they can clip that, and that will help too. Sometimes that's the only problem that there is, and it's fairly painless for the baby, and then they latch fine. My daughter never latched right. Never. I still did it because I loved her. Um, Deep inside, I was distancing myself from my husband mentally. He had not his life had not changed. That's how it goes, girlie. Unless you make him change, his life won't change unless you force it sometimes. He could resume work. He did not undergo an ounce of change in his body. My breasts were engorged. I could not sit well because of the episiotomy stitch. My hand pain. I thought you had a C-section. See, this is what I'm talking about. You don't get an episiotomy and a C-section. I don't get it. My hand pain from the insertion, my boobs constantly leaked milk. And this dire situation, there was a woman who laughed at my situation and downplayed my struggles and kept ruminating about her daughter's postpartum situation. Pumping fixed to a chair every 2 to 3 hours made these feelings worse, and I can understand how that would. My husband constantly tried to make me feel better by small gestures, but the fact that he didn't ask his mom to leave when her presence was constantly so pressurizing to me made me hate him so much. He got me some Stacy wearable pump from a friend's Rico. At least it removed the feeling of pumping like a dairy animal, no wires. My physical pain got better because maybe I didn't have to keep sitting with my shoulders straight and things were beginning to get better. My vaginal bleeding also came to an end. I had delivered normally. Oh, she didn't have a C-section. So why is she complaining about C-section? I'm confused. Pumping was easier and also the feeling of my own not wearing a pad, it reduced a lot of comfort. My mother-in-law left after 45 days of my delivery because she wanted to show her friends that she stayed for my postpartum period and served me and did all the traditions and whatnot. Best day of my life. I did not even tell mother-in-law something like, visit us soon, because honestly, I was scared she might take it as a hint and overstay or come back. I still have a lot of pent-up rage about the things she told me. You're not the only working woman who has given birth. True. You should eat fast and look for after the baby each second. Not true. When will your tummy go inside? How does she know? She told my husband, you need to give some gold to your sister. It's a tradition. All this while, she gave me or my daughter nothing and expected my husband to reward the sister for no reason. I get the feeling these people are from India. I decided to undergo therapy, and I'm so much more at peace now. The things I covered in therapy are a story for another day. But I remember how she treated me when I was at my most vulnerable self. I have learned to judge people by their actions solely, not what they say. Her actions made me feel reduced, depressed, and hell, I even considered breaking my own marriage. Sometimes it does trigger my old repressed emotions of how she treated me, but I take solace in the fact that she does not stay with us, and I didn't purposely choose for her to be in my life. She has shown me what she truly is, and I'm grateful for having seen her to herself. I have decided to protect myself and my marriage from her. My husband has accepted his mistake of not placing me first and during my postpartum period and apologized profusely, as well he should. I could never directly breastfeed, but it became a blessing in disguise as I could feed my baby a lot of pump milk timely and developed a sleep schedule. I made sure she drank enough milk during the day and slept well at night, which may or may not be good, depending. With a later positive experience of exclusive pumping, I got the much needed rest, and I could give a benefit of a doubt to my husband. Also, your milk will adjust to the times that you're pumping, so you don't wake up like needing to pump. It, babies can make it adjust too. My husband drew appropriate boundaries with his mother after the stressful phase of our marriage. He realizes that this could have been an end to our marriage. I'm glad he did that. If you are a new mom and are exclusively pumping, don't let anyone make you feel less of a mom. No, pumping's hard. I can't even pump. I have plenty of milk, but I can't pump. Especially not your mother-in-law. Yeah, especially her, especially when they're mean. No, no, if you're pumping, all kudos to you, dude. All kudos. That's hard. That is hard. But like I said, there can be reasons why the baby's not latching correctly, and you have to check out all of your options before pumping all the whole time because that's hard. That is not what you want to be doing. Bye bye job. Um, Fired anthropologist says we got kicked back 30 years after Trump administration cuts. And this is from Women's Magazine. Ellen McDunick never planned to leave the Park Service. She studied people and culture for years, and she expected to retire. Um, she helped return native belongings to their rightful tribes. That's nice. That's a good thing to do. She was about 1,000 employees fired this year as part of the Trump administration Doge cuts. She worked as a coordinator of Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act in the NPS Southeast region. I want to say this North Pacific, probably. I don't know for sure. I don't know. Um, she'd only had that position from since June 2024, so she was listed as probationary. Because if you don't know, I know that Trump and Musk all said that they were firing people that were on probation. Well, those people were not bad employees, they were new employees. If you're a probationary employee, even if you just changed to from a if you get a promotion, you're a probationary employee in the United States government. If you go from one job to an equal job somewhere else, you're probationary, you start over being a probationary employee, and you're that for at least a year. So all these people that are on probation for being bad employees, they were not. They were people who had promotion, who had gotten hired, who had had promotions, who had changed jobs for some reason. My best friend changed from working at the DOJ to working at the Department of Defense. I'm not going to call it that. You know what? Um, because she just moved jobs, but she was on a probationary period too during that time. She took a buyout or something. She works at a library now. Still doing it. It's the she's still doing money stuff. She does money stuff. She's angry not just for her, but for her colleagues who lost their dream jobs. Yeah, this is so wrong. So this is out west. She worked in the Rocky Mountain National Park. She says the parks are extremely understaffed and have been for decades. People's experiences at the parks, their sustainability and their existence, it's only got going to be improved when there are people who are there to do the work. Exactly. That's crazy. Art Guide Deluxe says, I keep waiting for all of these fired scientists, FBI, and military officials to organize. You know, they are far more skilled at their jobs than their replacements will ever be. That's for sure. All right, our next read is from Am I Overreacting? Entitled AIO for Thinking My Boyfriend is Just Looking for an Excuse to Break Up. Probably not. There is a text message, so we know we gotta read that first. And it says, so you wanted to talk about the gifts. Do you have a minute? And it says, sure, what's up? It was really sweet of you to get me the perfume, but in the future, please don't get me dupes like from Dossier or Oksha. Well, I think you're being picky, girl. I know it seems like a bargain, but when I say I want the perfume, I want the actual perfume. Yes, is it because you want the label? And she says, no, it's more likely they're inferior products, blah, blah, blah. It was just so much cheaper to get the Dossier ones. It doesn't really matter. And she says, yes, it does. And he says, it's rubbing me the wrong way. Oh, there's more. Says it's rubbing him the wrong way, which, I mean, fair. Seems kind of superficial and bratty to throw a temper over not getting the name brand item because someone wanted to give you all of the ones you wanted. And she says she's not throwing a temper tantrum, although kind of sounds like she is. I said thank you and just asked for future interests is that you skip the perfume. I'm not mad or anything. Yeah, you are. You wouldn't even mention it if you weren't mad. You kind of are, to be honest. When I say I want a perfume, I want the actual perfume and not a knockoff. This is toddler temper tantrum crap. I'm kind of disgusted by this because in my mind you're not like this, but to find out you are is unsettling and unnerving. And she says, okay, talk about it in person, blah, blah, blah. Mostly because I can't see it. Oh, here it is. I don't know if I'm just coming across harsh or what, but I'm not upset that you got me the perfume. You are. You wouldn't mention it. No, I don't know if I want to see you at this point. Fair. I went out of my way to one, look at your wish list, and two, think about what you have talked about, and three, pick several items from it. Four, get you the exact product in just different packaging from a less trendy company. Five, get berated for it. I do think the knockoffs are not exactly the same product, but I think his heart was in the right place. And she does not sound appreciative to me. At this point, I'm just fully disgusted. If you got me store brand mac and cheese instead of Annie's, wouldn't say crap. I'd accept it gratefully, but you just had to open your mouth. Okay, that was not necessary. I think there's a disconnect because I'm not trying to berate you. She doesn't sound like she's berating him. Oh, I said it was sweet of you to get them for me, but I'd rather save them to get myself as a reward because that way seeing them on my shelf is a reminder of what I accomplished. No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said at all. And he says, nah, how about I just never get you any gift again? Such is silly. Don't say that either. These guys, everybody sucks here. Everybody sucks here. Um, she says, I'm sorry for saying anything. And he says, I bet you are, because now I showed your hand. Blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, 31 female with 33 male, dating for about a year. He asked me a while ago for items I want mine as a gift, so I sent him the wish list that I use. Has probably 15 to 20 perfumes. Holy cow. Pick one. Pick one, and then he'll get you just the one, buddy. Why do you need 15 to 20 perfumes? I mean, it would take you a month to wear each one of them. I don't get it. He was sweet and got me 3 bottles, but they were from Dossier and not the real product. I think it's very sweet, but I want him to save his time in the future because I don't want to dupe products. I want the real ones. But he took it the wrong way and gives the impression he's not just looking for a way out anyway. I don't think so. I don't think that's at all what he was doing. There are plenty of other things on my list that are cheaper, not a brand name, serve functional purpose, etc. I think his big overreaction is just him looking for a way out more than anything. But I wasn't going to egg him on in text. You came across really like rude, girl, to be honest. Our relationship has been completely fine and normal. I am a higher earner than him, which he says doesn't bug him, but maybe it does. I don't know. I heard that I have to go with that. Edit, I can't keep up with the comments. I just want to clear something up. The perfume he got me was not the same exact perfume, just an off-brand bottle. It's not made in the same factory the way that generic cereals are. They're dupe perfumes, so they're cheaper, lower quality, less silage, and less longevity. They're imitations. The issue isn't that I wanted the name brand on the bottle, it's that the perfume itself is bad. Edit 2. Several people have also asked when this took place, and to be clear, he gave me the perfume over a week ago when we were together in person. I said thank you, and we went about our days. The entire reason I brought it up was that to make sure he doesn't continue to waste his money buying me stuff that's not going to get used. I don't want to say nothing and him end up thinking I want more. And there's an update. And more texts. More texts. So more texts. There's more pictures. And he says, we have to talk about, this is him, we have to talk about plans for my mom's Thanksgiving. Are you ignoring me? I'm not mad about the perfume stuff anymore. I get that you're just into brand names and all that stuff. I'm just not used to being with girls who care about that crap. It caught me off guard. And she says, I think it's time we break this off and go our separate ways. I just don't think I can trust your reaction and how you spoke to me. And he says, what the F over one fight where I got kind of upset. Are you serious? Yeah. Like, you're going to have disagreements in a relationship. And he says, I'm not allowed to say anything or react in any way when you basically spit on my face for not buying you $500 perfumes. That's a lot of money for a little bottle of perfume. You care more about the label on a bottle of perfume than you do our relationship. That's not exactly what she said, but you won't even admit that you were wrong. She says the fact that you still think it's about brand names when I told you it's about how you spoke to me is decision enough for me. I know this is right. Enjoy being alone for the holidays. Single at 31 is pretty much apathetic as it can get. Yeah, dude, but you're 33 and you're going to be alone too. You guys both suck. The update says my post got a lot more responses than I was prepared for. And some very insightful comments too. I appreciate everyone who talked to me. I knew I was probably going to break up with him over the way he spoke to me, but I wanted some insight onto the perspective. In the end, was just not wasn't worth trying to get into a bigger discussion with him, so I broke it off. Seems like if you're having issues with the way he spoke to you, you discuss that with him. I mean, obviously she's not that into him, so it doesn't matter. Never mind. Moving forward, I will make new wish lists for anyone who asks for me for one to avoid it. I've never had an issue with a man buying me perfume before, so it never really popped in my mind. I know some of you are really stuck on the why did you text this part, and the only real reason that was used for text for pretty much everything, and I don't see it as impersonal or anything. I try to avoid having serious talks over text to avoid misunderstandings. Then you probably shouldn't have started this on text if that wasn't that important to you. Edited adding someone's suggestions. No, I did not ask him for $500 perfume. None of the perfumes on the list that he asked for were $500. He would have had to see the name of the perfume on the list, ignore the direct link to where it could be purchased, to look up to find a completely different formula. And again, this is a list that he asked for. That includes everything I wanted to buy, from perfumes to pants to charging cords to a new stove burst for my car. You don't put your whole list out there, girl. You put out what you want from that person. Someone says that his reaction is kind of upset, saying she dodged a bullet. If single at 31 for you is pathetic, which is not, it's 2 years more pathetic than for him. Exactly. Oh, top comment from the original one was, holy crap, I thought these were teenagers. No kidding. Yeah. Neither one of these people are mature enough to be in a relationship, to be honest. Neither one of them should be in a relationship. And we have best of Redditor updates, which isn't terribly long. Oh, best of Redditor updates, Texas. That's what it says. It says Texas. Oh, trigger warnings for some sexual coercion, exploitation, and stuff. Okay. Texas. 23-year-old female, had sex with a 17-year-old. Well, don't do that. He told me he was 19. He took a video of us having sex without my consent and is threatening to share it. What can I do? Hopefully not get arrested. Original post was April 6th, 2020. We met on Tinder in December and started seeing each other in January. We slept together a handful of times. I decided it would be best to stop seeing each other around the start of last month when they started telling people to stay away from each other. It's 23. I mean, it's not quite as bad as um, Sheldon's brother and his girl, Georgie and Mandy. Not quite as bad as Georgie and Mandy. At first, he was really understanding, but over the past couple of weeks, he's been pushing to see me more. I keep trying to make plans to see him once everything has calmed down, but he's insisting on coming over to my place despite everything. Yesterday, I finally put my foot down and let him know we wouldn't be meeting now or later. Since I didn't know how, since I didn't like how pushy he was being. He's 17, of course, he's going to be pushy. He doesn't know how to interact with an adult. He called me and we got into it because I won't let him come over. Once we hung up, he snapped me a photo of us having sex in his car. I don't even know when he took it. It's so dark you can't really see me, but it's clearly my voice. On the video, he wrote that I would either let him come over or he'd send the video to my boss and tell his mom because he's 17. I told him I was out of town because my sister had her baby, which is true, but he could come over when I got back. I was afraid of him if I told him straight no up that he'd send the video. I didn't know he was 17. No, I never would have slept with him. I have screenshots of his Tinder profile, but clearly lists his age as 19. I don't have a Facebook, so we weren't friends on there. But I do have his Insta and Snapchat, and none of those things indicates he's 17. I kept thinking back over our reactions, even in text. He didn't say anything to indicate he was in high school. He told me he went to a local community college, talks about college classes and getting off his job at HEB or HEB or whatever the heck that is. It's a grocery store. That's what that is. Anyway, it's not like we had long conversations. Our relationship consisted of having sex and maybe getting dinner beforehand. Please help me. I've been freaking out about this for several hours. I work with kids right now and I'm in school to be a school social worker. That could be an issue. I can't have this on my record. I know I should probably go to the cops, but how can I do that and make sure nothing comes of it? Commenter, the age of consent is 17 in Texas. The sex was legal. Phew, close one, because that would not have happened in Michigan. Video is not. He's violating child pornography laws. As long as you don't have or distribute a copy of the video, you aren't breaking any laws. OOP, do you think going straight to the cops would work or should I get a lawyer involved? I want to tell someone what he's doing, only if so that he won't try it with someone else. His mother should definitely be made aware, but I don't know where he lives. So I can't just go tell her myself, assuming he lives with her. Plus, I'm afraid that if I don't say anything, he'll email the video to my boss, who will probably fire me because since he's under 18, since I work with at-risk youth. Probably not. I mean, given the circumstances, you always have to take circumstances into account. I'm worried what he could do with my name and my career, and thanks so much for your help. Commenter two, look, you need to take a lot of deep breaths and hire a lawyer. I would recommend somebody who has practice in that specializes in defamation. You haven't committed a crime. Ironically, he has committed at least three: manufacture of child pornography, revenge porn, and extortion. But as you point out, for whatever reason, this person is trying to F up your future career, which deep breath will probably won't happen. Unless you need to consult with a professional who can really put the screws to him and get the video deleted and an injunction of some sort. The law is very much on your side here, but I would highly recommend going on the offensive here with the assistance of an attorney. Commenter number three, as others have mentioned, he is the one committing criminal acts here. I would suggest going straight to the police on this, and the sooner the better. Texas is not currently a state on state lockdown, so you would have a chance to get them to follow up with warrants on the guy's devices. Don't delete any conversation you have had with him. Texas recently passed HB 2974, which is geared towards sextortation, which this is a count of. The police should take this very seriously. April 7, 2020, the next day. Long story short, I followed everyone's advice. I reached out to an attorney who advised me to begin compiling records of my communication with him and to record any communication we had going forward. She told me to avoid reaching out to him, but to be prepared if he reached out to me. I downloaded a call recording app and started backing up my screenshots of our texts and messages. He didn't unmatch me on Twitter, so thank you to everyone that warned me our conversations would go away. He didn't say so, but I think he may have seen my Reddit post. I only say that because I know I made the front page, and last night he called out of the blue to apologize and asked me to not call the police. Yeah, probably. Probably saw what you were doing. So he either saw it or he had a come to Jesus moment. He told me that he is 19 and he only said he was 17 to scare me since I was being a bee and wouldn't let him come over. You're acting like you're 17, you're 19-year-old. When I told him to prove his age or I'd call the cops, he texted me a picture of his ID. He also says it wasn't me in the video, that he deleted it anyway. It was her. You know, it was her. She said she recognized her own voice. I'm not sure if this is the truth, but I got a recorded confession, so that's something. I haven't spoken to the attorney since he called me, but I did email her with a transcript and recording of our conversation. We have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. I'm still going to be seeking legal advice, as you should. I'm just not sure what actions, since his ID says he's 19. In that case, there was no CP, although I know it's still a case for sextortation. I don't think it would be wise for me to continue updating the situation on Reddit if he's here too, so this will probably be the last thing I say about it. Thanks to everyone who has messaged me to be supportive. I really appreciate it. I can't respond to everyone because between PMs and chats, I'm sitting on 300 plus messages about that post. Funnily enough, a nice chunk of them are from men calling me a pedophile. Men are so weird. Saying they hope I get ard since I'm such a slut and trying to figure out where I'm at Texas so we can hook up. You're gonna call her names, call her like the worst names, and then want to hook up with her. You guys are idiots. Obviously, not all men, but enough. Stop it. This man tried to coerce me into having sex with him via blackmail, and I'm the one getting blamed because I had sex with someone I believed was an adult. From this point on, I'll only be seeing men my own age or older. Good idea. And IDing everyone. According to the attorney, the fact that he looked old enough was an excuse. This might sound dramatic, but for most of yesterday, I really thought my life was over. Never again. Yeah, don't date people that you don't know how old they are. I mean, you can date them, but don't have sex with them. Damp Blanket says, I like how his first resort is to make up a scenario where he tells his mother on her. Yeah, but obviously not 19. Oh, all right. And then we're going to end on Made Me Smile because we should always end on Made Me Smile. And this is entitled Max is a Good Boy. After his owner, who suffers from dementia, accidentally wandered into the woods, he never left her side. Max stayed with her for 3 full days with no leash and barked to alert rescuers when they came nearby. Who's a good boy? Oh, such a good doggy. Yes, cute he is. Oh, everybody. I guess everybody with dementia should have a doggy. Um, Killer Ken dolls. That's scary. Says my wife used to walk her dog on ambient fueled nighttime walks. She came to once, the dog pulling her along, growling anytime someone was nearby. I miss that dog. Ride or die as heck. Yeah. Yeah, good doggy. All right, that's all I have for the day, and I'm tired. I got to go do some stuff, like ask my daughter-in-law for pictures. We went to see Santa on Saturday. We had a really low key. Well, low key for my husband. I worked yesterday on this, so I had to do my first of the month stuff and my first of the week stuff and all that good stuff. All right, well, that's all I got. Anybody else have anything? I don't think anybody else is here. Please like, share, subscribe, share, turn on your post notifications, share. All right, biddies. Love you all. Bye.